Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Broyan's farm, where we kind of do a little bit of everything. Today is another beautiful day. It's gonna be 75, I think. Right now it's probably about 60. So first thing we're starting off with is Frank is down here at the high tunnel. We have these strings. I'll kind of show you on the other side what it's supposed to look like, to hold our roll up sides in place. So that way, like, once this isn't tucked under this lip here, right here, once this is like hanging up here, you know, if wind comes, you don't want it flying out and back and flying out and back. So this string just kind of holds everything tight up again, so it rolls up nice and rolls down nice and stays right against these metal bars that are right here. But what happened was, over time, just with the weather and all that kind of stuff, the string wore out. So we picked up a new spool, and now Frank is going through and getting this old string out of here because it actually broke twice. He's got it almost halfway done. Down here is where it broke the second time, and we just kind of tied it. We didn't have time last year to fix it. So now we're gonna get, now that we have a little bit of extra time, we're gonna get this done. It's held in by these little hangers here, and it's too small to just pull the string up out, so we kind of have to just feed it through. Takes a little more time, but it's whatever. Well, that kind of made a mess. Good. Let that dry off a minute. It's kind of... So after a lot of confusion walking back and forth, me and Frank finally, I think, got this figured out. Because we didn't want to have to pull it through that loop, up through that clamp right there, then down through this loop and up through that clamp, because it would just take too much feeding and it would take forever. So now what we figured out is we're gonna string it through the whole, through all those loops in the bottom that you see, those eye hooks. And then we're just gonna pull it straight up and fasten it in the hooks. I think that's gonna work. We'll see what happens here in a minute. It seems very simple, but it's kind of like a big mind game to make it the easiest and fastest way possible. So now you can see we're ripping, or he's ripping anyway. Getting it knocked out here. That's how it's supposed to look right there. And then all we'll do is, he's already got a knot tied in there, perfect, so that can't come back out of there. That's the way to do it right there. That is the way to do it. And then we got our wagon here with the rake through the rope. That way it just kind of wheels itself right off. Makes it really simple. Beautiful. Okay, so the high tunnel's fixed. My mom looks like she's getting a load around to take out to the market of planters here. And some white petunias. Kind of just getting a little bit of everything out there right now, because there is some people who are ready to start buying, but it is quite a bit early. You know, everybody's afraid of frost and stuff like that, so that's okay. You know, we need the room in here anyway to get it out of here. Aunt Kathy just got here. She's gonna start transplanting. And then I have to talk to Mom.
She's the head honcho.
Yeah, that's nice. Everything's already ready for you, ain't it? Yeah. It just seems like all of a sudden in one day, everything's crazy. We went from, you know, doing some work here in the greenhouses and trying to clean up around the farm, to now transplanting in the greenhouse, hauling stuff out to the market, plant-wise. You know, obviously we have to get stuff ready for the market. Just, you know, getting hoagie buns and stuff every single day. Now it's like, I'm getting ready for the corn maze. I gotta get stuff around for that. I gotta make a nice perimeter for my hay rides, and grass needs to be mowed. And it's just like, all of a sudden at once here, it's like, bam, now we're extremely busy. So it's kind of good. I like being busy, but you know, we don't want more than we can handle, but that's usually the way it is. So that's farming. Before my Aunt Kathy got here this morning, me and Frank got that table that you usually see them at, transplanting out of here. So we have more room there. My mom got the planters, or some planters, out of here.
So we have room there, and the Huker was there too. She got more planters out of here. So
they can get a lot of transplanting done today, and they'll have lots of room to put it. But by the time they're done, this will probably be filled right back up again. With the mowing means we got to get stuff cleaned up out of the grass. I've got, or I guess we've got, these bins for potatoes. As we empty bins, we get them out of the potato storage. We just bring them out here so the rain can wash that dirt and dust out of them. And then right before winter, before it froze, we had to get our big irrigation pipe or irrigation suction line out of the pond. And so this lays here. We got to get this. We're actually gonna take and put it in our boat, and then the boat is gonna go underneath there, so that way this is off the ground and the boat is off the ground, and it'll be sitting up on blocks and everything will be good. The only problem I see is that this suction screen right here is almost completely rotted. You can just put your finger about right through it. So that's obviously no good. That'll have to be replaced before we start irrigating. I'd love to say, you know, maybe we won't irrigate this season, but that's almost a given every single year. At some point, it's gonna get too dry to where we need to irrigate. And then everything we have in the ground right now, like perennials, garlic, you know, strawberries, which is a perennial, is growing very nice. Right here is our rhubarb starting to come up out of the ground. I'm not 100% sure why. We have this rhubarb that is just coming up now, and then we have this rhubarb down here that is really up and looking pretty. I think the only reason I can think of is maybe these are different varieties. I don't exactly know. This is actually a weed right here, but that's rhubarb. So rhubarb is actually, whoa, there's a lot of bees. Jeez. Rhubarb is actually a pretty big deal out at our market. You know, once it gets big enough to sell, we cut the tops off, wash it off, and then it gets sold. So kind of excited for that. And I don't know why whoever started planting on the edge of the building, but we have a lot more room and we could sell a lot more rhubarb. So, and we grow it in our greenhouse. So there's no reason. I would like to plant a couple more, and then we'll have more to sell, because like I said, it sells out pretty fast. I don't know what's going on, but like our whole barn, around the whole thing, and the barn's big, is just filled with wasps. It's like I try getting close, and all of a sudden they start picking up and flying. And I mean, I'm not terrified of bees, but I definitely don't like them. I don't want to get stung. So now I don't know what to do, because I need to get into the milk house there to get a chair for my Aunt Kathy, and I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know if it was a week ago or 2 weeks ago now, whenever I made that video, I was showing you guys the garlic, but with this warmer weather, it's just going absolutely nuts. This is what it's looking like now. I think before it was about, you know, 1, 2, 3 inches high. Now it's like 6, 7 inches high, and I think about every single bulb or, you know, sprout was out of the straw now. Before it was kind of hidden, some were still covered, but now they're all out, doing really well. And that's exactly what we're looking for. If you're planting garlic, the best thing to do is plant it at least 6 inches apart. That way you can get the best size out of your garlic as possible. Even over 6 inches is good, but I mean, at least 6 is what you should have. Or that's what we try and shoot for, because when we're planting this, if you go back and watch the video when we were planting it, it's kind of, you know, a guessing game what 6 inches is. It's just that, you know, after you're planting 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, then you get up to 10,000 bulbs, you kind of get the hang of, you know, how fast to plant and how close to put them. So Mom and Dad do a really good job with that. I think I drove the tractor for part of it, and then Dave drove the tractor for the other half of it, but Mom and Dad planted the whole field together. I'm in the greenhouse watering. Well, I'm in the greenhouse, Dad's in the other greenhouse watering, and out here
It starts working.
I think you should go and wave them down. Albert.
What?
I think you should go there and stand out at the road and wave them in.
I'm gonna. Finally done for the most part in the greenhouses. My parents kind of took over. I went out, I had to take Frank and stuff out to the market. They're cleaning stuff up, just getting ready. getting the greenhouse and everything cleaned up and ready so that it looks nice and presentable when customers start coming in. Now I'm in the shed, and I was just talking to a guy. We're in the process of selling these old 2 corn planters because they are in our way and we don't use them anymore, and they're kind of in rough shape. I mean, the fertilizer hoppers are kind of rusted off and stuff, so hopefully I can get these out of here soon. And we're in the process of looking for a corn planter. We're looking for a 4-row. I'd like a 6-row. My dad wants a 4-row. You know, we're kind of going back and forth on that a little bit. But anyway, we're in the market for one, so we just want to be able to have the space open in case we do get one. We don't want to leave it outside. We want to have it nice and covered. So that's the whole reason for trying to clean up in here. But for now, what I'm working on is I'm going to be hooking up our shielded sprayer, which is right here, because our strawberries are starting to get weeds and grass throughout the row where people are going to be kneeling and sitting and walking to pick. And before they get too high, I want to be able to knock them down and kill them. So I'm going to hook this up. I don't know if I'm exactly going to mix weed killer up today to kill them, but I am at least going to get it hooked up because it does take a little bit with the 3-point hookup. And, you know, it's been a year. Well, not a year, but it's been a couple months since that's been run. So I just want to make sure everything's okay. And then, you know, we'll go from there. Okay, so the sprayer's hooked up and it's all ready to go for when we need it.